So, hello everyone. I hope you aren't tired yet, and thank you for buying us time. Yeah, I am David. This is my colleague Daniel. We are from South Tyrol. This is in the north of Italy. I don't know if you know it. It's the place where the mountains are. There's a similar like these mountains we see here. But we also brought a photo. So maybe the one, yeah, here you see the mountains. That's South Tyrol. And yeah, where the mountains are, there are also a lot of hotels and restaurants. So the hotels and restaurants created an association which is called HGV, and that's where we work at. And yeah, here you see some numbers about our company. There are about 5,000 members, and we have 10 different departments, and we provide full service solutions for our members, like doing the payrolls for the employees. We do web marketing, consulting, advertising, and all of these things. And yeah, we have a lot of employees. And also, you see here, we also do bookings. This is the number from last year. And yes, we have developed on top of this booking system a booking platform, which I show you now. This is the booking platform, Booking Südtirol, where you can book your stay at South Tyrol. And yeah, it's an alternative to the big booking provider like Booking.com. And yeah, if you are here in the region, take a look at it. And yeah, when you see, we have a lot of different services and departments, and every department has their own applications. And on the slide before, we saw a lot of apps here down. The HGV apps are apps we developed in-house. We are a team with about 10 software engineers. So that's not that much to develop all these things. So we also have a lot of partners, third-party partners. And so we needed a solution, identity platform, which supports all these use cases for us. And so we are a Microsoft company, so we have Microsoft as a partner. We use Microsoft for Office 365 and all these things. And so it was a no-brainer for us to use their identity platform. And that's called Azure AD B2C. And yeah, we use that. And yeah, now I want to go into detail how it looks like. Here we have two ways you can define user flows. This is the left side, they're simple, yeah, there's a dashboard where you can click buttons, but it's very limited. So yeah, you can't do much with it. We had some more advanced flows. Here on the right side, you see the possibility to use custom policies. And as you see, it's XML, and yeah, it's not that great. Here I have brought you an example where you see one of our custom policies, which is our invitation flow. And yeah, this is only a little part of it. The whole flow is 2,000 lines of code, only this flow. And obviously that wasn't so great to develop with. And yeah, it also took very long to develop all this custom language for. So it took 4 months to implement the invitation flow. And that's a lot of time for such a little development team like we are. We don't have time to do these things. We want to do things for our company, to bring our company ahead in our business. So doing bookings or other things where we are good at. And there are other problems which were, we had some bugs in the JavaScript library, which is the MSAL library, which broke our production build once because they misspelled a method name. So yeah, this wasn't so great. Then there was no UI customization. We had outages, so our customers called us and yeah, they wanted to see their payrolls and they couldn't, and it was a big problem for us. the whole day they couldn't access their payrolls. And we had no monitoring, so nobody helped us to resolve these login issues. And yeah, so we were really frustrated. And then it was 1 year ago, it was a conference in South Tyrol, which is called the SFSCon. Really cool, it's tomorrow, we are going there. And yeah, there I met a developer and he said, yeah, do you know this company Ory? Yeah, I used it and we used their open source library and it's really cool, look into that. And I think, yeah, why not? This is a really cool thing. It's also Golang, which we use internally too. And so, yeah, we scheduled a call and we got to know Ory. And then we made the migration. And now Daniel will talk a little bit about the migration. And yeah.
Thank you, David. So I was in charge of replacing Azure B2C with Ory. We have about 27 in-house applications, which are secured via cookie authentication, so that we don't have to bother about token, storage, and renewal anymore. In terms of machine-to-machine communication, we haven't really changed anything. We maintained our existing method of JWT, even though Ory offers the possibility to exchange opaque tokens. As for our partner applications, we do host them on a different domain so that they can't lock our cookies. And we do make them use OAuth2 authorization code flow for authentication. We then created a custom UI for our users to provide a more seamless user experience. For example, by implementing home realm discovery, meaning that when the user enters the email address, we check if the domain matches the one from our company, and then auto-submit the UIDC flow. Else we just continue with submitting the password flow. Then localization was also a key factor for us because our members do speak either German or Italian. So we do serve the whole UI based on their browser language. And lastly, we've also designed a whole profile page where they can manage their personal information. So let's see how the user migration took place. We wanted to make the whole migration as smooth as possible without letting the user notice anything. So we started by creating a script which imported all our identities into Ory as verified so that they won't get any confirmation mail or anything. We then had to map all our old user IDs with a newly created one across all our databases. The next problem was password migrations. Azure B2C do not allow any kind of password export, so we had to come up with something else. We've discovered that by making an RPC call against B2C, we were able to validate those credentials. So as we already had our custom UI in place, we've added a before login hook. And upon credential validation, we proceeded to patch the Ory identity with the admin API. We briefly thought that there could be another problem with password strength validation on import because the one from Ory do not match the one from B2C. But luckily that wasn't the case. We've read in the documentation that they do not validate the password strength when patching an identity. So yeah, we were pretty lucky about that. So this is still an ongoing process which turned out to work pretty well for us. To summarize, we do now have an easy-to-use authentication system so that we can reduce our development effort and focus on our daily business. It is fully customizable. We did not run into any limitations so far. The Ory console offers some new monitoring features so that we can see how the user behaves and, for example, what emails are being sent out. And we do have the enterprise plan, so we have dedicated Slack channel support. But we do also benefit from the whole community on Slack, sharing knowledge and troubleshooting. And we also had an onboarding day yesterday, which was really helpful. Thank you again. And lastly, let's see what our future steps will be. We've planned to expand our booking portal with a guest area where the user can manage their bookings, which will bring us another 50,000 identities, according to an estimate. In addition, we plan to secure sensitive information in some applications, like accessing payroll documents by requiring the user to re-enter their password, or maybe by making them complete a two-factor authentication. And lastly, we are still evaluating Ory Keto as an authorization service, if it matches our requirements. As for now, we are using a central authorization system made by ourselves, which tells us which user can access what data. So yeah, this was it. If you have any questions.
Thank you, that's really insightful. I've never used Azure AD B2C. It looks quite complicated to use. How long did the migration process take for you in terms of, let's say, developer days? You said you wrote some scripts and stuff. And do you think that there is something that we can do better to make the migration easier for use cases like yours?
No, as I said before, it turned out to be pretty straightforward. The whole migration wasn't so time-consuming. It was more like an organization stuff we had to plan, like how do we manage our third-party applications, because they also needed to replace their user IDs and implement OIDC and so on. But the whole migration took about, I don't know, a month maybe. Yeah, so it was not time-consuming at all.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I have also another question regarding the password migration. So you mentioned that you're using the resource owner password grant to check the password, but for that you needed the password. So were you doing that when the user signed in?
Yeah.
Basically. And so then how long did that process take until every user logged in? Or are you still running that system in case?
Yes, we're still running the case. We have it online for about 1.5 months, I think. And we've checked recently how many users were migrated, and it was like about 3,000 out of 4,000. So, but of course we have to make a cut one day. So we have to figure out that one.
So it's a big number because they all want to access their payrolls, so they log in. It's not that they have no reason to. And yeah, right now we are looking for a way to display some message to the last users, because now we want to disable the old Azure B2C ROPC thing completely. And for this, the last remaining users have to reset their password the next time they log in.
Yeah, that would be possible, right? So you send them a code or magic link.
Yeah, we talked about that initially to do this for all of our users, but that would mean that on this day we make the switch, all the users have to change their password on the same day, and so they all call us. And there are a lot of people having troubles with resetting some things, and so we wanted to avoid that extra overhead. And yeah, it runs smoothly.
Do you solely have like web applications, or do you also have mobile applications that you had to migrate?
We had only web applications, but we developed a new mobile app too. But it wasn't a migration because it was a new developed app, and we launched this app 1 month ago. And since we launched it with the new Ory authentication system, we had to do the migration for all the application, for all our other applications the same time. So it was a little bit of stress for us. So our users can use our passwords everywhere. This was our goal. We have so many applications, and our users don't know which application uses which password. For them, it's always the HGV, so they don't know why they have another password. It's HGV. So yeah, we changed this, and now we have one password or one user identity for all of our systems. There are really a lot of them. Yeah, thank you.